Welcome to Study Hmong. My name is Ngoda, and today I want to talk about something that's very important for being able to have conversations in Hmong, and that would be questions. What power is there in a question? In what ways are questions important in a foreign language? How much communication can we really have if we don't ask questions? How many questions do we actually really use in a day? Well, this is video 1 of 3 that teaches Hmong questions, and I invite you to join me for the answers. Watching all 3 videos will give you the formulas that you need to ask just about any question in Hmong. Here are the categories of question words you will learn in these 3 videos. This video, video 1, yes or no questions, and something called choice questions. We have choice. Video 2 will cover reporter questions and something called tag questions. Tag it at the end of the word, we'll get to that. And video 3 will cover some question variations. Aren't you curious about that? Okay, you will find the time correlation to each of these words in the comments below, so you can scrub ahead to review a particular one at any time. Go to our website, studyhmong.com, sign up for classroom courses to get the 13-page worksheet that goes with this lesson, and follow along with me here. This lesson will cover 2 sections. The first is the easiest one to start with. It's the famous yes or no questions. And we also have choice questions. Choice, when you have a choice, how to ask it in an either or style of question. Shall we get started with our first section? Hey, that was a yes or no question. Yes. Okay, our word. Pua. Pua. Pua is not so much a word that has an exact definition. Picture it more like a question mark. When you see that word, you know this is a question. Specifically, a yes or no question. And it's the easiest one that there is. Where does it go in the sentence? Well, it goes before the verb that you want to know about. Before the verb that you want to know about. Let's study an example. Go bua mu. Go bua mu. You question mark go. Do you go? It's a yes or no question. Say yes or no. Go bua no. Go bua no. You question mark eat. Do you eat? Okay, very good. Easy. Yes or no. How do we answer a question with bua in it? Well, there's not a yes and no correlation exactly like there is in English. So you're going to use the verb or negative word plus the verb. And it's really easy because the verb was already used in the question. So it said bua verb. So we can use the verb in our answer. Cheating, but it's easy. It's actually really easy. That's how it works. The word that comes after bua in the question is the verb we want to use. So, go bua mu. Do you go? Are you going? You could say yes would be mu. That's the verb, go. If you're not going, ji mu. Ji is the negative word. Okay. Mu. Ji mu. Good. Another example, let's try it. Go bua no. You eat? Do you eat? Are you eating? Yes would be the verb no. Or no, not eat. Ji no. Ji no. Okay, don't forget, remember there may be more than one verb in the question. So, ก็ปัวสาหมู่ do you want to go ก็ปัวสาหมู่ do you want to go so you're not going to focus on mu here you're going to focus on sa so yes would be sa no would be negative word ji sa ji sa or ก็ปัวสานอ do you want to eat ก็ปัวสานอ sa ji sa are positive and our negative answer. Excellent. Okay, here's a variation or something that you'll see commonly connected with pua. It's still going to be a yes or no question and answer. It's 我要 我要 要 can mean to be the is am are article. So 我要 can be described as is it so? Isn't it so? Isn't that right? It's still by definition going to be a yes or no question because it uses pua. Okay, so where does it go in the sentence? Well, it actually goes just about anywhere in the question. Often it's before the subject when you want confirmation of something, or after a statement, thus turning it into a question. Let's see how that works. An example. Na bo ya golly. This, is it yours? Is this thing yours? Na bo ya golly. How do we answer? Answer similar pattern with the word that's used in the question, the word that comes after bo in the question. In this case, it's ya or negative ji ya. An example. ก็ใช่ปลา บ่เยอะ You hungry stomach. Is that right? You're hungry, right? ก็ใช่ปลา บ่เยอะ Your answer, yeah. Or ji yeah. Yeah. Ji yeah. Now, have I heard people answer this question instead with a verb ใช่ปลา as a yes? Yes. So these lessons teach common grammar, but you may encounter exceptions. What's next? Very similar to บ่เยอะ we have บ่เตา บ่เตา Good. You'll see it two ways. First will be the verb and then บ่เตา. Second will be บ่เตา and then the verb. We'll get into the difference. For definition, เตา, that word is going to have its own video. But for now, understand it as to achieve. Or in English, sometimes we can get away with using the word can. Sometimes that feels right, but not always. Some examples will help. The first one, verb plus บ่เตา. This can be used as a polite request to do something, and it would come at the end of the request. How do we use this? ให้ดัว บ่เตา ให้ดัว บ่เตา Speak again. Could you achieve? Could you? Can you say that again? ให้ดัว บ่เตา Can you say that again? ให้ดัว บ่เตา So we would answer with the verb that's used in the question. You're hearing that a lot, aren't you? The word that comes after บ่ in the question. All right, you're getting good at this. You would say เตา or จีเตา. Now I heard it said, you say ให้ดัว บ่เตา. People will say ให้เตา or ให้จีเตา. That's fine too. But a short เตา. ji dao. Okay, good. Our second example of this is when we have bo dao and then the verb. This would be used to inquire, say, if something happened or not. How about nu bo dao or hao lu? Nu bo dao or hao lu? Did he or she achieve, do work? Did he do work? How would we answer this? A couple ways. You could say, ua, did it, ua lo, did it already. Negative would be ji dao, or ji dao ua, ji dao ua. There's actually some more examples on the worksheet here for these word sections if you'd like to expound on that. Moving on to another one, we have law, L-O-S. L-O-V is the spelling variation that I've seen sometimes, so that's acceptable. Definition, is it so? Often it's spelled L-O-S, but sounds like a V tone because we're asking it as a question. Law. So it's spelled L-O-S, said like a question, confusing. That's why sometimes people spell it like a V, in my opinion. Is it so? It can be used often after a statement to turn it into a question, expecting a positive answer. Where does it go in the sentence? Often at the end of the sentence. How about an example? ก็ตัวหรอ ก็ตัวหรอ You have come. Is it so? Answer. กูตัวกูตัว Or you can tack on aw for being polite. กูตัวaw. I have come. We can use it anytime on its own during conversation too, for good things, for bad things, for somewhere in between. Oh, I ate breakfast. Law? My cat died. Law? All right, you did it. You have yes or no questions under your belt. So let's see what's next. Round 2 is choice questions. These are not yes or no questions. However, they're choice questions. You have a choice between two answers. Now, this may sound familiar. Law, L-O-S. But wait, we just covered that a second ago. But no, it's not the same word. Well, just like English, there can be more than one definition, more than one meaning to a word, and this is one of those cases. So instead of is it so, here it means or, such as this or that. Where does it go in the sentence? Easy. It goes between the two choices, right? So, an example. ก็มั่วไม่ตู้รอเมนไทยก็มั่วไม่ตู้รอเมนไทย Do you have a son or a daughter? Answer. กูมั่วไม่ตู้ Right? It's not a yes or no question, so they're going to answer it. I have a son. Because you're not saying you have one, don't you? You're saying what do you have? This kind or that kind, this or that, these or those. Oh, she says, I have a son. Then it's not as common, but you may see one of these variations. I put it on the worksheet too, because we're being comprehensive and detailed here. So you can have a verb and then this section of words. Lo, law, ji tao. A verb and then lo, law, ji tao, lo, law, ji tao. Or very similar, lo, law, ji ya, lo, law, ji ya. Okay, they're slightly different ways of saying the same thing. Instead of it just meaning or, these mean the verb or not. Like, well, have you done something or not? Okay, where does it go in the sentence? Well, it's usually in the finishing part of the sentence. How about ก็นอหมอแล้วรอจีตาว You eat food already or not? So, have you eaten already or not? See, it's slightly different. Have you eaten already? ก็นอหมอแล้วรอจีตาว ก็นอหมอแล้วรอจีย่อ So you can answer นอแล้ว or จีตาวนอ okay? Because you're going to use the verb in this answer. In this case, นอแล้ว or จีตาวนอ. Wow, right. Give yourself a round of applause. That's fantastic. Make some notes on the worksheet. Practice this. Here's a review. ปัว is like a question mark. It will always make a yes or no question. ปัว. It goes after the verb. You answer with the verb for positive and G in the verb for negative answer. ปัวย่อ means, is it so? It's still a yes or no question because it uses ปัว. Use it before the subject and when you want to confirm something. Use it after any statement to make it a question. But don't be fooled. You answer with the verb, but the verb being used is ย่อ. So if ย่อ is in the question, you answer with ย่อ or จีย่อ. Okay? That's when you answer with ย่อ. ปัวตาว. We covered ปัวตาว. It means to be achieved, done. This can be used as a polite request for something, and it would come at the end of the request. Again, answer with the verb being used, which is ตาว. Answer ตาว or จีตาว. Okay, we covered law. It means, is it so? Use it at the end of a statement to turn it into a question expecting a positive answer. You've eaten. Law, have you? Haven't you? You've eaten, haven't you? Here too, answer with the verb. Also, law. But this one means or, such as this or that. Remember? And it goes between the two choices. So what's your homework? Make a list of questions you use in a day. Which of those questions did we cover in this lesson? Now put forth some effort to try to turn those questions into Hmong questions using the recipe here in this video. Share them with a friend to see how close you got. You want to check it, right? And that way you can keep getting better and better. Or just practice making up some questions from what we covered today, as many as you can. Get creative. As many ways that you can use ปัว ปัวย่อ ปัวตาว law, and either or law. Make up a lot of questions. Practice those. Will put it into your brain. Really cement in how to use them. And then next time you hear these questions, oh my goodness, I get it. And then you'll be able to use them easier, hear them easier, and everything. We covered some basic yes or no questions today, but you don't want to neglect those infamous reporter questions, do you? I mean, yes or no questions are great. They're like ice cream. I like ice cream, but you really only have like 2 flavors. Yes, no, vanilla, and chocolate. Don't get me wrong, you can do a lot with those, but come with me into video 2 for all the various flavors of questions with all the toppings and syrups, and thus you'll be able to ask so many types of beautiful, flavorful questions. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like this video, subscribe, share it with a friend learning Hmong. Come check out our website for classroom courses with more lessons, worksheets, audio files, flashcards, more. Shinji Doa. I'll see you soon in video 2.